Namaste and welcome to the Festival of Bharat. I'm Divyanshi Sharda, your host. Our guest for today's show is somebody to whom the whole of India looks up with love and respect. And that somebody is Shri K.K. Muhammad ji. Shri K.K. Muhammad ji, who requires no introduction, is an Indian archaeologist, and he was the regional director of the northern sector of the Archaeological Survey of India. He was honored with India's fourth highest civilian honor, Padma Shri, in 2019 by President Ram Kovind. He was also part of the historic Ram Mandir excavation team and has actively worked in restoring numerous historical monuments to their former glory. Muhammad ji, namaste and welcome to our show.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
We are truly honored to have you on our platform, Muhammad ji.
Surely welcome, please.
Dhanyavad. So, sir, my first question to you is that something that I think all our viewers would be having in their minds, and that being that you were part of the 1976 excavation of the Babri Masjid Ram Mandir, a project which was led by Sri B.B. Lal. What can you tell us about this wonderful project that you were involved in to educate our viewers?
Yes, it was the project was led by Professor B.B. Lal, and it was in the year 1976-77. We had gone for the excavations at Ayodhya. So at that time, I mean, these issues, that is the temple Mandir Masjid issue, it was not a very big issue at that time. And our object was also to see the cultural sequence of the place. And it had nothing to do with whether it was a temple before the mosque or anything of that kind. So what we do is during our exploration, that is just before the excavation, we go all around, explore the area so that you can contextualize the archaeological excavation. So as part of this one, we went to the mosque also. And at that time, bhajan was going on in the so-called mosque. People were feverishly coming from various parts of the world to have just a glimpse of Lord Ram. So when we were further inside, we were stopped by the police. There was only one police person at that time. So we explained, we have nothing to do with other things. But we are the excavation team and we are the researchers. So they, allowed us to go inside. So when we went inside, we could see that 12 pillars of the so-called mosque, that was made of temple pillars. So naturally, your question would be, how do you know that these are temple pillars or these are mosque pillars or these are the church pillars? Actually, we as archaeologists, we are precisely trained for that. And not only that, sometimes, we would be able to see, just stylistically, we would be able to tell you, thus this is of 12th century, this is of 13th century, or this is of Akbari period, this is of Shahjahani period, this is of Jahangiri period also. That is because of our experience and our study of the material. So we came to the conclusion that these are the 12th century temple pillars. And if you have, but how? Because the temple pillars at the lowest part of it, it would be having Purna Kalasha engraved on it. What is a Purna Kalasha? Purna Kalasha is a kind of a picture from which foliages would be coming out. Purna Kalasha, Mangala Kalasha also it is known as. And if you go to any of these temples of 12th century and 13, 14, you will be finding this in North India and in various parts. Purna Mada, Purna Midam, Purnartha, Purna Mudachyade. So that is Purna Kalasha. And if you have any doubt, you can go to Qutub Minar. Just by the side of Qutub Minar, there is a Quwwatul Islam Masjid. Similarly, temples have been destroyed and they have been reconstructed as mosques, where you can see a number of Purna Kalashas. Not only Purna Kalashas, there you can see a number of the idols also of gods, goddesses. Ganesha is there, Shiva is there, Vishnu is there, and the number of gods and goddesses. So certain things have happened in history and archaeology, which of course you cannot deny. You should not refuse it also. So we came to the conclusion that these were the temple parts. That was number one. And number two, it was not our discovery also, because when it was well known earlier also. Many of the foreign travelers, Jesuit travelers means the Christian travelers, English people, Irish people who had come to India, they have also recorded it. So that was one part. And then Professor B.B. Lal excavated the western part of outside the western part of the temple. At that time, the structure was not demolished. So you cannot, this one excavate inside portion, but it was outside. So there we could get the brick pillars on which similar pillars were standing. And there were many pillar bases were there. And then along with it, we got the terracotta figures of number of gods and goddesses also. Now please tell me, if it is a mosque, can you ever think of having or getting the terracotta idols of various gods and goddesses? You can never. So it was on that basis we came to that. Professor B.B. Lal came to the conclusion that this was the destroyed part of the temple and that has been reused for the mosque. But it was not a very big issue at that time, so he did not highlight it, just as many of these Marxist historians had highlighted it at a later period. So it became an issue in 1990 at that time, because it had warmed up by that time. And it was this Marxist historian who went to the press saying that Professor Lal had excavated that site and he has not got anything by which it could be attributed as the temple parts. It was not Professor B.B. Lal. It was this Marxist historian. And remember, these are symbol historians. Historians only, they are not archaeologists. They don't know the intricacies of archaeologists. They did not know complexities of archaeology. They have not visited, not even a single person from their group who had come with this kind of opinion. They had not visited the site. They just gave an opinion like that one. And naturally, Professor B.B. Lal had to respond to it, and he responded. No, we had excavated it. We have got a number of things which was associated with the temples, but we did not want to make it an issue. So he gave a reply to that one. So at that time, I was posted in Madras, and I gave a statement as a government servant. I should not have issued a statement that is against the conduct rule of a government official. But I had a responsibility, as I was the only Muslim archaeologist who had participated in that one. So I gave a statement. No, I was the only Muslim who had participated in that excavation. And we have got so many things which is associated with the temples, but we did not highlight it as it was highlighted by these Marxist historians. And the Marxist historians had no reply at all. No reply at all. They did not reply for this one. And then it became, later on, because at that time there was another historian, Professor I. Mahadevan. He said one group of people says, no, there was no temple, this one remains. And others say, no, there are temple remains. Why can't we have a third excavation? And that third excavation was conducted by Professor Dr. B.R. Mani. B.R. Mani is, the former Director General of National Museum, and he is the former Additional Director of Archaeological Survey of India also, and a very seasoned archaeologist. So when we said it, it was only 12 pillars, remember. And when Professor Dr. Mani excavated it, more than 50 pillar bases were excavated. More than 50 pillar bases in 17 rows were excavated, proving that it was not simply an ordinary temple, it was a huge temple. It was a huge temple. So that was the first part of our excavation research.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.